Hello everybody, welcome to the next game in the 2015 Strat-O-Matic Demolition League. We are starting the second half of the season at Series 10, and instead of doing all the games, one video for every matchup in the series, that just takes too long. I got too many other projects going, so I'm going to just go pick select games to play. And the selected game I chose for this one is the same one I started the whole thing with back in Series 1, which is when the Red Sox visited Cincinnati, traditional home opener in Cincinnati. Well, we're in Series 10, which is a flip-flop of Series 1, and the home and away teams just trade places. So we are in Fenway Park now for Boston against Cincinnati. Both teams are 16 and 11. So look at the standings after the first half, and we have Cleveland with a 2-game lead. They are 18 and 9, 2-game lead on Houston and Boston and Cincinnati, which is why I chose this game, because we got two teams fighting for second place. 2 games back, Tampa Bay and the Mets are tied 3 games back. Seattle is 5 games back, Arizona is 6 games back, and unfortunately Philadelphia and San Francisco wallowing at 7 and 20, 11 games back. You expect it from Philadelphia. You don't really expect it from San Francisco. They were 84 and 78 in real life, but they've just had a real tough time with everything that's going on. In fact, if we look further down on these numbers, the run differential, San Francisco is worse than the league at minus 45. Philadelphia is right there at minus 36. The Mets actually are minus 6, even though they do have a winning record. And of course, Cleveland topping that at plus 43. Houston, or Boston rather, at plus 19, Houston plus 16, and Tampa plus 20. Cincinnati only plus 5. They win some close ones and they've lost some blowouts, so that's why that number is not quite as what you would think it would be. But if we look at the April and May numbers, you can see now it's kind of half and half. There's 16 games in April and 11 in May, so not quite half and half, but close to it. Cincinnati in April was 7 and 9. They are 9 and 2 in the month of May, so really a hot way for them to go. San Francisco 1 and 10 in May after being 6 and 10, so they're really struggling. The Mets were 11 and 5 in April, only 4 and 7 in May. That's what's causing them to drop from first place down a little bit further. So there you have it. Houston has also picked it up. They were 8 and 8. Now they're 8 and 3 in the month of May. All right, so those are the standings as of the first half of the season. 27 games in, 27 games to go. Got the dice, and we're doing red, white, and blue. The white die is going to determine pitcher hitter card, and red and blue. I didn't want to use 2 reds because we already got the Cincinnati Reds, so Boston has blue in it, so red and blue for Boston. White die is going to determine if it's pitcher or batter card, and then a white D20 will go along with it. Now, since I had to move that, let's check and make sure that everything is copacetic. I think it is. There's a little bit of glare, but can't really help that because I got the plastic covering on Fenway Park, which makes the cards slide off easier. I do have this score sheet right here, but I'm doing that mostly off camera. I also have the game up on the computer, so I'll be scoring it as we're playing it, both on the computer and on the score sheet. So I think we are ready to go. Starting pitchers for this first game in Series 10 for the Red Sox, it is a left-hander, Eduardo Rodriguez. He comes into the game with a record of 3-0 with a 1.82 ERA, 30 innings pitched, 29 hits, 5 walks, and 17 strikeouts. So nice record for him. For the Cincinnati Reds, they will counter with Raisel Iglesias, and we'll get his record or his numbers in the bottom half of the first. But those are the starting pitchers. So Rodriguez finishing up the warm-up tosses here at Fenway. And Brandon Phillips. Let's see if I can get this to fit in. Brandon Phillips. Going to lead it off for the Reds. Second baseman. Actually, I got enough room I could put them down here, I think. Yep, sure can. Yep, we can do that. Put it right there. That makes everything fit. Okay. Brandon Phillips will lead off, and he is for Cincinnati. He is hitting .339, 2 homers, 8 runs driven in, and 115 at-bats. And second half of the Demolition League is now underway. We get a 6-7. Rodriguez against a right-hander. That's a ground ball, second base X. Second baseman is Pedroia, and Pedroia is a 2. 2 and an 8. Most certainly will go to an error check. And it will. Pedroia is an E11. And we get an 8 on the E11. E11 and an 8 is a ground ball A. Good play. So round out 4-3. And there's one away. That will bring up shortstop Eugenio Suarez. And Suarez, so I get the computer straight. Suarez is hitting .257 and 70 at bats, 4 homers and 12 driven in against the lefty Rodriguez. It's a 5-8, and that's a fly to center, 2 down. So 2 up and 2 down. 2 of the hottest teams in the league playing each other to start Series 10, so something's got to give. Here's Joey Votto. He's hitting .311, 3 homers and 15 driven in, and 90 at-bats. That's a 5-8 against the lefty, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. So Eduardo Rodriguez, a nifty 1-2-3 inning. And the Reds go quietly in the first. We go to the bottom of the first. It is Cincinnati nothing, and the Red Sox coming to bat. And on the mound for the Reds is Raciel Iglesias. He would later go on to be one of their closers. But here in this part of the season, he is a starter and a reliever, but starter for now. He is 2-0 with a 1.57 ERA, 23 innings pitched, only 10 hits, 3 walks, and 23 strikeouts. So he's one of the hottest pitchers in the league. And he will be dealing with Jackie Bradley Jr., the right fielder. Bradley Jr. hitting .299, 4 homers, 9 driven in, and 77 at-bats. 6-7. And against the lefty, it's a ground ball, second base X. That is Phillips. He is a 1. 1 and a 13 is going to go to an error check. Phillips' error rating is an E8. E8 and 11. That could be interesting. E8 and 11 is a ground ball A, so we got away with it. Tough play, but Phillips made it. 1 down, and that brings up Dustin Pedroia, second baseman. Pedroia hitting .270, 3 homers, 14 driven in, and 74 at-bats. 5-7, that's a strikeout. So Pedroia down on strikes. 2 up and 2 down. That'll bring up Mookie Betts, center fielder, struggling at .225, a homer and 7 driven in 89 at-bats. 5-6, and that's another strikeout. So again, Mookie continues to struggle. And Iglesias rolling through the Red Sox in fine fashion in the top of the first. Nothing doing for either side. We go to the second. No score from Fenway. And we start the top of the second. It'll be the Todd father, Todd Frazier, to lead it off. And Frazier hitting .391, one of the league's leading hitters. 6 homers and 27 driven in, and 92 at-bats. It's a 4-2, and that's going to be a fly to center. Hauled in out there by Mookie Betts. 1 away. And that'll bring up Jay Bruce. For Bruce, Struggling, 189 average, 3 homers, 8 runs driven in, and 90 at bats. And now it's a lefty on lefty matchup. 6-4 against the lefty. It's a ground ball shortstop X. That's Bogarts. Bogarts is a 2. 2-1. He will. Let's see if he will get to that or not. That might get through for a hit. I believe it will. 2-1 is a single. So Jay Bruce, the first base hit of the game, belongs to Jay Bruce as Pedroia unable to get to that. So Jay Bruce is your base runner. Marlon Byrd is now your batter. Bruce, let's see, are they going to hold him on? He is a C steal. They will hold him on. And that brings up Marlon Byrd, left fielder. He's hitting .322, 8 homers, 15 driven in, and 90 at bats. 8 homers is near the top of the league. That is a 5-10, and against a righty, that's a fly to center. 2 down. No ballpark effects. That's only super advanced. I know I play super advanced on the game of the week, but in this league it is advanced only. And that brings up the designated hitter Jason Bourgeois. And Bourgeois is hitting a measly .156 and 32 at bats. No homers or runs driven in. We get a 2-8 Bourgeois ground ball to short, and that's going to end the inning. It's a ground ball B, so we'll call it a fielder's choice. As Mookie Betts will flip to Pedroia for an easy 6-4 force play. And we go to the bottom of the second. Still no score from Fenway. And Big Papi will lead things off to start the bottom of the second against Mr. Iglesias. Big Papi comes in hitting .304, 7 home runs and 20 driven in 92 at bats. 1-7 for Ortiz. He's got a lot of walks here in the one column, but 1-7 is a ground ball to second. Phillips right there. 1 away. So Ortiz is retired. That brings up Xander Bogaerts, and Bogaerts hitting .364, 4 homers, 10 runs driven in, and this coming up will be his 100th at bat, actually, unless he walks. 3-2, and that's a fly to right field. 2 down. Hauled out there by Jay Bruce. So 2 up, 2 down, and that's going to send us to the Panda, Pablo Sandoval. He's been struggling, hitting a .187, 2 homers, 8 driven in 75 at bats. It's a 1-6, and that's going to be a base hit for Sandoval. 1-4 is a double. Anything else is a single. That is a single for Pablo Sandoval. So the Panda comes through with a 2-out single for Pablo Sandoval. Of course, he will not be held at all. Terrible base runner. And it'll bring up the first baseman, Mike Napoli. Napoli also struggling, hitting a .176. 1 homer, 8 driven in 68 at bats. 2-6 for Napoli. He's going to strike him out. So Iglesias gets the K on Napoli. And 2 innings are in the books. No score from Fenway. As the 2 hot teams are battling it out here to start series number 10. Back out for Rodriguez. And both pitchers have fatigue number of 6, so they're still got a lot of gas in the tank. And coming up for the Reds, it is going to be Brian Pena, the catcher. Pena hitting .265, no homers, 4 runs driven in, and 49 at bats. He has been splitting time doing the catching duties with Barnhart, so that's why he has fewer at bats than the other players. We got a 2-10 against the lefty. That's a ground ball to short, and Bogaerts right there, 1 away. And a pitching duel has broken out at Fenway, or at least early on. between Rodriguez and Iglesias. That brings up Billy Hamilton. He had been injured for a while. He's back now, but he's only hitting a $175 in 57 at bats. No homers and 5 driven in. Does have 6 steals, but he's got to get on base to steal. 3-9 against the left-hander, and that's a 1-8 home run chance for Billy Hamilton. 9-20 would be a triple. That's a home run. That is gone. Billy Hamilton, a home run. Not known for his power. He did have 4 on the year, and he hits his first one right here. Billy Hamilton puts the Reds on the board with the home run. Solo shot against the lefty Rodriguez. And just like that, the Reds are in front 1-0. And flip the order over now to Brandon Phillips. Phillips grounded to second, his first chance. Rodriguez trying to regroup. 2-8 against the lefty. It's a ground ball to third, and the Panda is right there, 2 down. 2 away, and that brings up Eugenio Suarez. Suarez, his first time up, flew to center. 5-6 against the righty, and that's trouble for Rodriguez. 1-15 is a double. And that's what we got. Suarez with a double. Eugenio Suarez cracks a double. It's a 2-out double by Suarez. He is in scoring position. So the Reds are threatening to add to this 1-0 lead. And they got Joey Votto stepping to the plate. Suarez at second base is a C base runner. He runs at a 12, so they will hold him on. Lefty on lefty to Votto, 2-8. 2-8 is a strikeout to end the inning, so Rodriguez gets out of it without further damage, but the Reds do pick up a run, courtesy of the home run from Hamilton. And we go to the bottom of the third. It's Cincinnati 1 and Boston 0 here at Fenway. Fenway faithful looking for some runs from their beloved Red Sox. Iglesias is back out, and he will be facing Blake Swihart. And Swihart on the season in limited duty, hitting 176, a homer, 5 driven in, 34 at bats. Switch hitter, batting from the left side against the righty Iglesias. It's a 1-7, and that's danger there for Iglesias. 1-7, 1-4 is a double for Swihart. Anything else will be a single. And that's a leadoff single for Blake Swihart. So Blake Swihart gets that leadoff single. Not a very good base runner. He will not be held. And that'll bring up Brock Holt, second baseman. I'm sorry, left fielder. I'm so used to him playing second base when Pedroia was out. But in this one, he's playing left field with Hanley Ramirez, who is still out. And Ramirez is going to be back after this game is over. He will come back for the rest of the series, but he still misses this game here. So Brock Holt is up. Iglesias 4-3 against the lefty. Ground ball pitcher X. Iglesias is a 3-E-30. He's a 3, so that's the key number. 3 and an 8. It's going to go to his error check for a pitcher. 3 and an 8 does go to an error check, and he is an E30, which is not very good, obviously. Oh, let's try that again. That's an 11. E30 and an 11 for a pitcher. E30 and an 11 is a one-base error. So Swihart will take second. Holt will move on to reach base at first base. And for some reason, I didn't print out a runner for Holt, so I will have to just use a generic runner there. So runners are at first and second on the one-base error by the pitcher. Iglesias, so he's not helping his cause. 2 on, nobody out, and back come the Red Sox, and here comes Jackie Bradley. He grounded to second his first time up. Nobody being held on. Bradley, your batter. 3-6 for Bradley, struck him out. Big strikeout for Iglesias right there. Huge strikeout to get an out with no runner advancement. So the K goes on to Bradley. 1 down, and that brings up Pedroia. Double play gets the Reds out of the inning. 3-9, and it's a ground ball, second base C plus an injury. So the runners will advance on the ground ball, but we have to now check on the injury for Pedroia. And we'll go to our injury chart. Injury chart for the batters. So 1-4, he will be okay. 5-6, he's just going to miss the remainder of this game. 7 or higher, he's going to miss multiple games. That's a 12. He's going to miss 3 games. So a 3-game injury for Dustin Pedroia. He will have to leave, and now the Red Sox will have to do some maneuvering with their bench. And what they're going to end up doing is they're going to have to move Brock Holt to second base. So Brock Holt will now be at second base, and Shaw will take over in left field. Terrible fielder, but he's a good hitter, so they need the offense, so that's where they're going. So Shaw will bat in the number 2 spot and play left field, and Brock Holt will move to second. So unfortunately for the Red Sox, they do lose Pedroia for a couple of games. So I need to do that for the computer as well. Put the runners at second and third with 2 outs now. And Mookie Betts, chance to drive home the tying run and potentially a winning run. Against Iglesias. Oh, that's re-roll that. The white dot never made it. Try again. 1-7 for Betts, and that's a strikeout. There's a clutch there, but that's super advanced, not advanced. So in super advanced, he would have gotten a hit there. It would have been a 2-run single, but in advanced, he will strike out. So Mookie Betts struck him out. And that's going to end the inning. Red Sox come away empty-handed. Thought they had something, but ended up being fool's gold apparently. And now I need to make those changes on the computer defensively, since we're going to the defensive inning for the Red Sox. So one moment while I move Brock Holt to second base, and we insert Travis Shaw in the number 2 position playing left field. Okay, those changes are done. We go to the top of the 4th. Still 1-0 Cincinnati. Eduardo Rodriguez thought he was going to get some run support there, but just didn't work out for him. And now he'll be facing the Todd father to start off the top of the 4th. It'll be Frazier, Bruce, and Bird for the Reds. Frazier, his first time up, flew to center. It's 2-3 against the left-hander. He just missed the injury. It's going to be a fly to left, but a 2-2 would have been an injury check. So fortunately for Reds fans, he does not get injured. He avoids that. He makes the out, but he's still in the game. Here's Jay Bruce. Bruce, his first time singled and was erased on the fielder's choice. That's a 2-7, and that's a walk. So Jay Bruce reaches base for the second time. Single in the first, and now a walk. I'm sorry, single in the second, and now a walk here in the 4th. 1 on. Bruce is a C stealer. He will have to be held, so they can't just carte blanche it and ignore him, or he will take second. So Marlon Bird, your batter, and the catcher arm. Swihart is a +1, so that's another reason why you got to hold him on, because definitely we'll be looking at free bases if you didn't. Here's Bird. He flew to center his first time up. 1-4, and that's another walk. So back-to-back walks by Rodriguez, as he is all of a sudden can't find the strike zone. So Bird is on with another walk. That is the second walk, both in this inning, by Rodriguez. He had been showing good control, but not right now. And now we're at the designated hitter, Jason Bourgeois. Bourgeois grounded to a fielder's choice his first time up. 1-5, and that's trouble for Rodriguez against the lefty. A 1's a triple. Anything else is a single, 2 stars, and Bruce will score. That's a single, 2 stars. Bruce will score. Bird will go to third. RBI single from the designated hitter, Jason Bourgeois. And the Reds now lead it 2-0. Bruce trots in, and Bird takes third. Nothing in favor of the Reds. And that brings up the catcher, Brian Pena. He is a good double play candidate. They will play back for the double play. Bourgeois will be held at first base. Rodriguez 5-7. Struck him out. He's not tired, so the strikeout is good. Big strikeout there for Rodriguez as he puts the K on Brian Pena for out number 2. And that brings up Billy Hamilton. 3-3 against the lefty is a single to center field. So Billy Hamilton with an RBI single. Bird will score. Bourgeois will stop at second. RBI single from Billy Hamilton. He homers his first at bat. He gets an RBI single here. So Billy Hamilton getting it done at the plate. It is now 3-0 Cincinnati. And they've got Rodriguez on the ropes. Brandon Phillips, who was 0 for 2. He grounded to second and grounded to third. He's looking to add to the Reds' lead right here. 110, and he won't do it. All these hits in column 1, but he found a pop out to second. It's going to end the inning. But 2 runs come in for the Reds. They lead it 3-0 now, as we go to the bottom of the 4th. And Red Sox, John Farrell may be looking to his bullpen early. There was an off day before Series 10 started, so no rest was needed, and all the guys in the bullpen are rested. So definitely don't mind going to your bullpen early if you have to keep the game from getting out of hand. So Iglesias back out now, enjoying a 3-0 lead, and he'll be facing Big Papi. Start off the bottom of the 4th. Red Sox got some work cut out for him. They're down 3-0. Papi grounded to second his first time up. Oh, that's flipped over, so let's redo that. Don't know why they're jumping like that. 3-7 for Ortiz. That's a 1-5 double. Anything else, he flies to center. That's a 6. He just missed it. Billy Hamilton chased it down and took a double away from David Ortiz. Nice play by Hamilton. Boy, he's bucking for play of the game very early in this one, along with Iglesias, as it turns out. Here's Bogarts, and Bogarts, his first time up, flew to right. 6-8 against Iglesias, struck him out. Bogarts is down on strikes. And for Iglesias now, that is strikeout number 6 here in just the bottom of the 4th. But I'll bring up the Panda. Panda singled, one of 2 hits for the Red Sox rather. 111, and that's a fly to left. Would have been super advanced, a ballpark diamond shot, but in advanced, it's simply a fly to left field right in front of the green monster, hauled in by Bird. And the Red Sox go quietly in their half of the 4th. Completed 4 here in Fenway. It's the Reds 3 and the Red Sox nothing. Rodriguez will come back out to start the 5th, but he's on a short leash. And for the Reds, it'll be Eugenio Suarez to lead it off, followed by Votto and Frazier. Suarez doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. 6-9, that's a strikeout. So Suarez out on strikes. 1 down. Brings it to Joey Votto. He's 0 for 2. He struck out twice. trying to avoid a hat trick. 4-6, but he won't. That's a strikeout there, so not tired, so the strikeout stands, and he's got the hat trick. 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. Not a good evening for Mr. Votto. Here's Joey Frazier, or not Joey Frazier, Todd Frazier. 0 for 2. He's fly to center in the second, fly to left in the fourth. 4-6 against Rodriguez. It's a fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. So much better outing for Rodriguez in this one, in this particular inning, but I wonder if it's too little too late as they are behind 3-0. And the way Iglesias is pitching, they may not get 3 runs, the Red Sox, but there's still 5 innings to go, so anything can happen. Bottom of the 5th we go. Napoli, the batter. And for Napoli, he struck out his first chance. 6-8 against Iglesias. He will strike out again. So Napoli 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. One away, and that brings up the catcher, Swihart. Singled his first time up, but was stranded at third base. 5-8. Switch hitter batting left. 5-8. So another strikeout. So Iglesias now strikeout number 8. And the Red Sox cannot solve the riddle that is Raciel Iglesias. Here's Brock Holt. He reached on the error by Iglesias. 1-7, and that's a fly to center to end the inning. So another very easy inning for Raciel Iglesias. Red Sox go quietly. And we go to the top of the 6th. Still 3-0 favor of the Reds. This is the fatigue inning for Rodriguez, and the Red Sox do have right-handed activity in their bullpen. They have Alexei Agando loosening in the bullpen to the Red Sox. Leading off for the Reds, it'll be Jay Bruce. He has singled and walked and has also scored a run. Lefty on lefty matchup, 6-5. Ground ball shortstop X, that is Bogarts, and Bogarts is a 2. 2-14, he will make that play, 1 away. So Bogarts makes a fine play, retires Jay Bruce. And that brings up Marlon Byrd. Flew to center and walked. He's also scored a run. 4-8, and that's a strikeout. So Rodriguez hanging in there. Gets a strikeout, 2 down. For Jason Bourgeois. Bourgeois singled and drove in a run his last at bat. 2-10, and he's going to ground to short on this one. Bogarts handles it, and the inning is over. Nothing doing for the Reds on that one. So Rodriguez will make it through 6 innings without any problems. We go to the bottom of the 6th, still 3-0 favor of Cincinnati. That will be all for Rodriguez. His day is done, and Alexei Agando will come in to pitch the top of the 7th. But we got the bottom of the 6th to get through first, and Jackie Bradley Jr., leadoff man for the Red Sox. 0 for 2. He's grounded to second and struck out. 4-11 against the lefty. That is a leadoff walk. So Jackie Bradley gets on with the leadoff walk. That's what you need if you're the Red Sox. You need base runners. So the leadoff walk. And that's the first time that he has reached base. He was 0 for 2, a grounder to second and a strikeout, but he's on now. He is a C steal. He will have to be held, but down 3-0, they're not going to risk it. That will bring up, actually should be Travis Shaw there. Forgot to put Travis Shaw's card in the game. He is the new second place hitter, taking over for the injured Pedroia, although he is in left field and they had to move Holt from left field to second base. So Shaw is there. Bradley will have to be held, but he's not going to go anywhere. to 1-6, and that's a 1-4 single. Anything else, he lines to second. That's a liner to second, and Phillips will snag it one away. Hit it hard, but right at Brandon Phillips. One down from Mookie, you better, you bets. And he hasn't been betting very well. He's 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. 4-11, and that's a base hit to right field. Station to station with down 3-0. They're going to hold Bradley at first base, or second base rather. I do believe. Let me check the outfielder arm. Yeah, Jay Bruce is a -4 arm, so you're not going to run on him when you're behind. They need base runners, and that's what they're getting right now. And Ortiz is up. First and second, only one out, and Big Papi, the tying run, is at the plate. Iglesias, this is his fatigue inning, so they got to be careful about that. In fact, the Reds do have Manny Parra, a lefty, in their bullpen, loosening. 1-11 to Big Papi, and that's a single to center field. Single to center field. Now, do they try to score Bradley or not, is the question. Billy Hamilton is a -2 arm. And let's see, Bradley was being held. He's a 14, being held makes him a 12. -2 would be a 10, be 50-50 proposition. But with only one out, I think they're going to load the bases in this situation. So Big Papi gets himself a base hit to load the bases. And now Iglesias in serious trouble. He is now tired. Bogarts is your scheduled hitter. I think they're going to let Iglesias go one more round, and they would bring in Parra to face Sandoval after that, but they're going to let Iglesias, because he's pitched so well up to this point, they're going to extend the leash just a little bit, see if he can work his way out of it. Brian Price putting a lot of confidence in Iglesias. Facing Bogarts, bases loaded, one out. It's a 4-3. That's a fly ball. I'm sorry, 4-3 is a ground ball pitcher X, and he's already made one error. This could happen again. 3-7 is going to go to his error check. He's an E30. This could be another error. Most likely will be. That's a 9. E30 for a pitcher. Pitcher an E30 and a 9. And how do you like that? E30 and a 9 is actually a ground ball A. That's going to be a double play. It's going to go 1-2-3. First, pitcher to home to first to end the inning. And wow, what a break that was for the Reds. 1-2-3 double play. Keeps the Red Sox off the scoreboard. I think it's going to be all for Iglesias, though. He's tired, so they're going to give him the rest of the game off. But what a performance that was to get out of that. The old 1-2-3 double play. To end the inning. And now we will have a pitching change for the Red Sox as Rodriguez's day is done. And they will turn things over to right-hander Alexei Agando. He will pitch here in the top of the 7th. Agando, let's get his numbers on the replay. Agando is 1-1 with a 2.31 ERA, 12 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 walks, 10 strikeouts. So Alexei Agando in to pitch the top of the 7th. And he'll be facing Pena, Hamilton, and Phillips. Here in the top of the 7th, Reds lead it 3-0. Much to the chagrin of the Fenway faithful. 5-3. It's a ground ball pitcher X to Agando. He is a 4 E44, so that's not good either. 4 and a 1 is It's actually going to be a base hit. So a 4 and a 1 is a single. So single for Brian Pena. He leads off with a single. Billy Hamilton now up to follow. He is an excellent bunter, but he's also homered and singled in the game, so you wonder if you want to take the bat out of his hand or not. But I think the prudent play is probably to bunt. So they're gonna call for that bunt. The Red Sox are playing the corners in, makes him a B bunter. So we go to our advanced bunt chart. Well, it's a B bunter. We get an 8, B bunter, and an 8. Batter's thrown out by first baseman. So Napoli's only play is to flip it to second baseman Holt covering. It'll go 3 to 4 on the sacrifice, and Pena will take second base with 1 out. Job done by Hamilton. He has done his job in this game. 1 away, back to the top of the order, and Mr. Phillips. Pena will not be held. He's not a very good runner at all, so he will not be held. Phillips has struggled. He's 0 for 3. Hasn't gotten ball out of the infield yet. 6-12. That could be an injury for Ogando, so have to check our injury chart to see if that's going to be a potential injury for Mr. Ogando on that 6-12 result. Ogando is a 1, which means 6-12 is his injury check, so it is an injury opportunity, but we first have to resolve the at-bat. 6-12 is a ground ball first base X. First base is Napoli. Napoli is a 3. 3 and a 4. See if that gets through for a hit. For a first baseman, a 3 and a 4 is a single, 1 star. So it's a single. Pena will take third. Phillips will be the runner at first on the single, but we have to check the injury on Ogando, or the potential injury on Ogando. Reds have runners at the corners with 1 out. And now bring up the injury factor for pitchers. He needs a 1 through 6 to stay in the game. Anything else, he's got to leave and miss some time. That's a 4. He can stay in the game, so he is okay. He will stay in the game. But now they've got serious trouble. Runners at the corners, and only 1 out for for Eugenio Suarez. Suarez 1 for 3 with a double. He does have some A's on his card. They're going to play back for the double play. Plus on that 7, they got a plus there. That's going to get through for a single. So they're going to play back for the double play, hoping they can turn it. That's a 1-6, and that's a fly ball left field B ? Possible sacrifice fly. Put away out in left field by Shaw. The problem is Shaw is a terrible left fielder. He's in there for his offense, but he's terrible in left. He's a 5, a +2 arm, and an E16, so not looking good, although Pena doesn't run well either. So Pena runs at an 8. You add 2, makes it a 10, and then you add 2 more for the arm, makes it a 12. So 1 to 12 he would score, 13 to 20 he would be out. Up 3-0, I think you take the gamble and go ahead and see if he can score it. So it's a 1 to 12 to score him. It's 16, he got thrown out, so Travis Shaw throws him out. It's a double play. It's a fly ball to left field, so it's going to go 7, and then 7-2 at the plate as Swihart blocked the plate and kept him from scoring. And a huge play there by Ogando. Not only does he miss being injured or prevent being injured, but he gets the benefit of the double play. So a wild one there. I think that might be all for Ogando. He had a rough inning, so I think they're going to probably cap him and just not push the envelope there. Reds come away empty-handed here in the top of the 7th thanks to that double play. And we need a new pitcher for Cincinnati since Iglesias is pretty much topping out at 6 innings. He was already tired, so again, no use pushing anything. So let's look at the Reds bullpen and see who they want to bring in. Coming up for the Red Sox, you got Sandoval, switch hitter, and Napoli, and Swihart, another switch hitter, followed by Holt. So they're going to go to Manny Parra. He had been light tossing for the last inning or two, so they might as well use him. So Manny Parra will get the call. Lefty out of the pen. Reds, one of the few teams, in fact, the only team with 3 lefty relievers because their closer is a lefty. So they will go to Manny Parra. Manny Parra. And while Manny Parra gets his warm-up tosses, while we get his numbers together, it is the 7th inning stretch here at Fenway, and the score is Boston 3, Cincinnati. Actually, I have the line score backwards, don't I? I printed that wrong. I just noticed that. This score is wrong. It actually should be Cincinnati at Boston, not Boston at Cincinnati. Boy, I messed that one up, didn't I? So let me pause the video and fix this, and then we'll get going again. Okay, I apologize about that, folks. I have it fixed now. I'm up here in the man cave, so I don't have my whiteout or my correction tape with me. So I had to just grab a different line score from one of the original Strat-O-Matic score sheets. I don't know if it's score sheet A or whatever, and I use that, so it's not pretty, but it's there. And now, since that's out of the way, we can go to the 7th inning stretch, and we're ready for Take Me Out to the Ball game. Here in the bottom of the 7th, Reds lead it 3-0. Alright, apologize for the mix-up on the line score. It's all correct now. Messy, but correct. And Manny Parra is your batter. I'm sorry, your pitcher. Get his numbers. He's 1-0 with an ERA of an even 1. No saves. 9 innings pitched, 7 hits, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. So, very fine year so far for Manny Parra. And it'll be the Pablo Sandoval show, the Panda. He doesn't hit that well against lefties, but I don't think he can take out the Panda. In fact, you don't really have anybody else to play third base. You'd have to move Shaw from left field to third and bring Castillo or Nava into play. So I think you're going to go ahead and let Sandoval hit. He is 1 for 2. That is a 3-10. Sandoval against a lefty is a pop out to short, 1 away. So the Panda is retired. I'm just messing everything up. I meant to scratch out Parra and I scratched out Cingrani by mistake. Cingrani is available. Parra now is not. He's in the game. Here's Napoli. He's 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. 1-6 for Napoli, and he's going to be 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. He gets the hat trick. Yet another strikeout by the Red Sox batters, and they have had trouble putting bat on ball in this game. First against Iglesias, now against Parra. So here's Blake Swihart, the catcher. They could pinch hit with Hannigan, but I think they're going to go ahead and leave Swihart in there. 1-6, and that's a 1-10 home run. Might have been a good decision. 1-10's a home run. 11-20, it's just a deep fly to the Green Monster. And it's just a deep fly to the Green Monster. It's kind of the way it's gone for the Red Sox in this game, as Bird puts it away right in front of the scoreboard. And the Red Sox go down pretty meekly here in the bottom of the 7th. Manny Parra pitches a 1-2-3 7th inning. His day is done. And now we go to the top of the 8th. We need a new pitcher for the Red Sox because Ogando wasn't going to come back. It's going to be Votto, Frazier, and Bruce. 2 out of 3 are left-handed. So the Red Sox will go to the lefty out of the pen. And the lefty they're going to go to is Craig Breslow. Breslow is on. We'll get the numbers for Breslow. Breslow checks in, 2-1 with a 2.31 ERA, 12 innings pitched, 11 hits, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, no saves. So Breslow is in, and he'll be starting things out against Jay Bruce. Lefty on lefty matchup. I'm sorry, Joey Votto, not Jay Bruce. Joey Votto's got the hat trick. He struck out all 3 times. But that was against Rodriguez, a lefty. Now he's got Breslow, another lefty. 2-10, and he avoids the strikeout this time. He's actually going to walk. So Joey Votto coaxes a leadoff walk. And that's not what you want from your bullpen guys, is to walk the leadoff hitter, but he's just done it. And Votto's a beast stealer. You got to hold him on. So that'll bring up the Todd father. He's also 0 for 3. Infield at double play depth. Breslow 2-4 to Frazier. Ground ball pitcher A, and they get that 1-6-3 double play, or actually 1-4-3 double play with the righty on at the plate. So it's a 1-4-3 double play, just what the doctor ordered. 2 quick outs. And that brings up Jay Bruce with 2 outs and the bases clear. Bruce singled, walked, and grounded to short. That's a 2-12 against the lefty, and that's a ground ball first base, and easily done out there by Napoli to end the inning. So Breslow, after a rough start, giving up the leadoff walk, he gets the easy remainder of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Still 3-0 Cincinnati. New pitcher coming in for the Reds. And let's see who's coming up for the Red Sox. It'll be Holt, Bradley, and Shaw, all lefties. So there will be another lefty. They're going to go ahead and bring Cingrani in. So I might as well, maybe that was foreshadowing, crossing him out there. So Cingrani will be coming on. Tony Cingrani, the lefty. And the numbers on Cingrani. He is 1-2 with an 8.68 ERA, 9 innings pitched, 12 hits, 6 walks, 12 strikeouts, giving up 3 home runs in just 9 innings of pitching. So he's going to start it out with a 3-0 lead, but if he falters, they do have J.J. Hoover loosening in the pen, right-hander, that they would go to next. But right now it's lefty on lefty against Brock Holt, the second baseman. Can't pitch hit for Holt because you don't have any other second baseman out there. So Holt's going to have to swing away against the lefty Cingrani. 3-0, bottom of the 8th. It's a 4-7 against the lefty. That's a walk. So Brock Holt draws a leadoff walk for the Red Sox. Leadoff walk. That'll bring up Jackie Bradley. Holt will be held on but won't go anywhere. And we're back to the top of the order for Jackie Bradley. 3-9 against the lefty. That's a strikeout. So strikeout there for Cingrani. 1 away. And that's going to bring up Travis Shaw, left fielder. Another lefty on lefty matchup. 5-8. It's ground ball second base X. That is Phillips. He's a 1. 1-9 for second baseman. Will go to an error check. Phillips is an E8. E8 and a 4. Second baseman, E8 and a 4 is a 1 base error. So how about that? Phillips boots it, and Travis Shaw will be the new runner at first base. And we need somebody else out there to play second, to play the runner for Holt, because I don't have the card for some reason. So Shaw is aboard on the E4 by Phillips. Rare error. Phillips doesn't make too many errors, but he did it here. So E4. And now the tying run again is at the plate in the form of Mookie Betts, and that's going to be it for Cingrani. He's not going to last very long. He will depart, and J.J. Hoover will be coming in for the Reds to try to get out of the mess that Cingrani has put them in. Of course, that error was not his fault, but they are going to the pen. Brian Price is making the move to the righty, J.J. Hoover. And J.J. Hoover comes into the game 2-0, no saves, a 1.29 ERA, 14 innings pitched, 8 hits, 9 walks, 9 strikeouts. And now Aroldis Chapman is loosening the bullpen. If they need him to get a 4-out save, they may have to go to that. We'll see. Mookie Betts is up, infield at double play depth. Holt will have to be held on second, but J.J. Hoover going to see if he can get out of it, perhaps with a double play ball. We'll see. 5-9. That's a strikeout, so that's almost as good as a double play. Betts down on strikes. And he's got the hat trick for striking out 3 times. Red Sox batters have been accumulating strikeouts left and right. And now Big Papi is up. And now the question is, do you let Hoover face Papi? Papi's got a great column 2. 3-run homer would tie the game. And I think Brian Price is going to gamble right here. And they're going to the left-hander, Aroldis Chapman, to try to get a 4-out save. So Aroldis Chapman looking to get the 4-out save right here. Not going to take a chance against Big Papi. So Hoover did his job. But he will give way to Aroldis Chapman. Chapman 1-1 with 9 saves, 1.86 ERA, 10 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 walks, and 12 strikeouts. He is the league leader in saves with 9. So Aroldis Chapman coming in with 2 outs and 2 on, and Big Papi at the plate. This is the money time right here. Many times the save situation is not in the 9th inning. A lot of times it's in the 8th inning. And that's the way Brian Price is playing it. Of course, you're not going to pinch hit for Big Papi, so this is it right here. Ortiz stepping up here against Chapman. 2 on, 2 out, bottom of the 8th, 3-0, but Ortiz could tie the game with 1 swing of the bat. It's a 4-7, and he's going to walk. So Aroldis Chapman issues a walk, and that's going to load the bases. Bases are now loaded for Xander Bogaerts. So they're going to make Chapman work. Bogaerts is 0 for 3. He was up with the bases loaded last time and hit to a 1-2-3 double play. Chapman now to Bogaerts. It's a 1-4, and look at this. Bogaerts is going to do damage. 1-17 is a grand slam home run. A 1-17 would be a grand slam home run. Anything else will be a triple that'll clear the bases. It is gone. Xander Bogaerts, a grand salami. And the Red Sox faithful are doing the Sweet Caroline right now. And Aroldis Chapman has just blown the save. And all these runs are unearned because of the error on Phillips earlier on. But the Red Sox don't care. They will take it. They now lead it 4-3 here in the bottom of the 8th. Grand salami by Xander Bogaerts. And Brian Price can only shake his head. Here's Sandoval. 5-4, and that's a ground ball third base X. That is Frazier. He's a 2. 2 and a 20. He will make the play to end the inning, but damage done. The Sox put up 4, and that'll bring up Koji Urahara time here in the bottom of the 9th. So bottom of the 9th we go, and it'll be Koji Urahara coming on for the Red Sox to try to save it as well. Get the numbers on Koji. Koji Urahara is 0-1. He also has 9 saves, so this could be his 10th save that would lead the league. 1.64 ERA, 11 innings pitched, only 5 hits allowed, 1 walk and 12 strikeouts. So very, very dominant in the early going for Koji Urahara. And he is in there, and the Red Sox will also make a defensive switch. They're going to get the very poor left fielder Shaw out of there, and they're going to put in Daniel Nava. So Nava will come in and play left field as they want better defenders here in the top of the 9th. So Daniel Nava. He's a 3E4 rather than a 5E16. And plus he's got a -1 arm. So Nava is in to play left field. Urahara is in to pitch to try to close it for the Red Sox. They'll be facing Bird, Bourgeois, and Pena. Those are the scheduled hitters, but the Reds do have all their bench guys available. Schumacher in particular, I think, is going to pinch hit for Bourgeois. So Bourgeois is going to be called back, and Schumacher will grab a bat and pinch hit for Bourgeois. So it's going to be Bird, Schumacher, and Pena. Those are the scheduled hitters as of right this second. Leading things off will be Marlon Bird. Bird 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. 4-3, top of the 9th. Red Sox, the grand slam from Bogaerts has put them in the lead and in a position to win the game. Bird is up against Koji. 4-9, that's a strikeout. Urahara struck him out, 1 down. And now Bourgeois officially called back and officially entering the game as the DH. The new DH, it's a pinch hitter, is Skip Schumacher. Schumacher is hitting .234, no homers and 4 runs driven in 47 at-bats. But he is a lefty, so that they're hoping that we'll get something off of Urahara's card perhaps. Schumacher steps to the plate. It's a 4-2, and that's a fly to right. 2 down. So Koji 1 out away from putting this one away for the Red Sox. And Brian Pena, the last remaining possibility. They do have Hannigan and Castillo, but Pena's a switch hitter batting left, so they're going to leave him in there. Pena did single his last time up, but he was thrown out at the plate by Shaw trying to tag up. That was, how big was that now? So Pena, 1 for 3. He's going to face Koji. Try to keep the game going. 6-7, struck him out, and there's your ball game. Koji Urahara closes it down for the Red Sox. They win it by the score of 4-3. And we'll be right back with the totals. Okay, we're back to wrap this one up. Player of the game obviously is Xander Bogaerts, his grand slam in the bottom of the 8th off of Aroldis Chapman with 2 outs. The difference is the Red Sox defeat the Reds 4-3 to kick off Series 10 in the second half of the Demolition League. And for Bogaerts, that was his 5th home run of the season. And RBIs 11, 12, 13, and 14. Look at the totals for the Red Sox. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors. They left on 5. Cincinnati, 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors. They also left on 5. The winning pitcher was Craig Breslow. He gets the win. This loss goes to Aroldis Chapman. He's now 1-2, and that's his second blown save of the year. And Koji Ohara secures save number 10 to lead the league at this point. Red Sox now 17-11. Cincinnati drops to 16-12. So there you have it. Demolition League reboot for season or second half of the season. Series 10 underway, and the first game of Series 10 is a good one as the Red Sox defeat the Reds 4-3. It's good if you're a Red Sox fan at least, but it was a close, exciting game. And the next game in Series 10, the last game in Series 10, I'm only going to do 2 games a series to kind of speed this thing along. 2 games online, on video I should say. The rest I'll play offline. It'll be the Tampa Bay Rays taking on the Philadelphia Phillies, and that game will post probably on either Wednesday or Thursday, depending on when this posts. I think I'm going to post this one on Monday, and then we'll post the other one on Wednesday, and that will allow Friday to be Fictional Friday, so I'll kind of have a post and then a day off and another post. So it'll be the Phillies and the Tampa Bay Rays from Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, and the rookie call-up, Aaron Nola will get the call for the Phillies as they try to get a spark to start the second half, and Nate Carnes will be going for the Tampa Bay Rays. So, hope you enjoyed that presentation of the Strat-O-Matic Demolition League. Till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.